All right, welcome to 100 Gems Podcast, home of the champs. And today we just had an awesome event. We got our pop-up thing going on. Today we going to have a few people coming on just to say what's happening, what they doing, what they all about. You know, the home of the champs, because we got nothing but champs in the building today. I want to just start this off. We got Tasha and our very own Andre Ellis. So we was just in here talking earlier, Tasha, about the last podcast we had about why did we get married, and you had some feedback that came your way.
Why is it that you just come right in for me every?
Because
I feel targeted.
That was juicy. That was juicy. Go.
I feel targeted. I get it every single time, man. I feel like the Angela Yee in the middle of Charlemagne and DJ Envy.
And you looking that good too, so it's all go together.
All right.
In fact, she looking better.
Yeah.
This is why I love you, my honorary uncle.
Angela Yee ain't got that booty.
Hey, Mr. Ellis, what is you growing over there in that garden?
Mushroom and broccoli and cucumbers. Beans, green, tomatoes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Tosh, we want to hear about a little bit
you.
about the feedback and what you thought about it, because you know you gotta give a answer.
So it was funny because, like I said, you know, my husband kept asking me, like, how do I listen to the podcast? Where? And I'm like, I'll get the information. We want the door open. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. He found it.
Okay.
He said, so the man asked you, why did you get married? You said it was time. He was like, that's it?
Right.
So he said, well, let's have a discussion. Mm-hmm. Like, why did we? What happened? Why did you get married? Mm-hmm. And he was like, you didn't feel like that was something you want to say to the people? Right. And he a man of a few words, so when he bring a concern or he have something that, you know, that's kind of near, I like to address it. Right. You know, but so I gotta let the world know. Mm-hmm. You know,
but you know, in some, I understood when you said it was time, because you know I remember when I was trying to be done running the streets. You know, I said it was hard, but I said it was time. Mm-hmm. It really wasn't time, but I gave it a shot though. Right. You know what I mean? I think our thinking is different. Mm-hmm. You know what you think, Mr. Ellis?
I think when you meet that one, you meet that one.
Okay.
And I think you know it for sure. I think you know when you went the wrong one, too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then you start staying in there, hanging in there. You spent a lot of money on the wedding, then had 4 or 5 babies. You know what I mean? That made some debt together. Right. Now you hang in there and think that you should stay into that. But I think that waiting is something people should do. I tell young people right now, if you meet somebody, you should get to know them for a while. Date for a while, you know. Yeah. Just because the sex is good don't mean you got to hurry up and get married. Or the money is long. Some things you'll say, I don't even want this no more.
Yeah, we got to think about that. Because
just keep her money.
Hey, she was
a long thing.
I was in a situation where she was the one about you know, X how many times. Right. And she really was the one at that time. You know what I mean?
But what happened?
What happened was I got to know her. You know, and then she also got to know me too, because I ain't finna never try to say that they was wrong or this, that, and the other, because I'm gonna take all the blame. Because, you know, I was doing the thing, you know, but it was all on the table. It wasn't like it was hid and, you know, undercover, you know, then it popped out on you.
But out the gate. Is sex not a factor in marriage?
Yeah, definitely.
But, you know, the older you get, after a while, you start getting too old. You can't let sex be a factor because age become a factor too. Because just like the man can't perform as well as he used to, women don't want it no more either. They say, go home.
You know, I ain't gonna lie, man. I may be a trip. I'm just saying, you know, sex is like a universal thing. You know what I mean? It's almost like cookie cutter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I'm talking about.
Tom said he want to say something. I want to just get up in here. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm going to let you have my seat and take
No,
this
you
over
got
right
everything to
here.
do, Andre. Come on, sit
This
down.
guy right here.
Sit down, Tom. I need you in that microphone. Come on, Tom. Sit on down. Sit on down.
Mr.
I
Ellis,
was your teacher. I was your teacher. I was your teacher.
Yeah, Mr. Drake.
You were one of my
that microphone.
students.
Close to that microphone.
Yeah.
I was pull it up for him there, Mr. Ellis.
You know what? I was listening to you guys, and I also understand that chance, situation, circumstance can allow us to
Well,
run
you better
into
say something important. You're gonna take over. Like
I got something to say.
Hey, he sure came in.
Look,
He came in strong, didn't he?
took over like he was.
Hey, he came in strong.
Rolled up on us, didn't he?
He better have some real slick to
You
say.
guys say, and you guys said, and I said, who are you? Go ahead.
She was the same way when he was teaching me how to direct on the stage.
Yes, sir.
Theater plays. But I was listening how an individual and a couple can have circumstances, situations that can allow two individuals to come together. Like you said, you learn to love her. You learn to grow, right?
Yeah.
However, there are situations in which a person's belief system can dictate that whole outcome.
I agree with that.
Because we all grew up with certain lifestyles and beliefs that dictate our choices that we make, right? And me, myself, personally, I was in a situation where it dictated
I was gonna say, when did you come to know that?
my loyalty, right? Just loyalty, because we grew under loyalty and honor and this and that. So my wife, who I'm married to now, I learned to love her out of loyalty. You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
I learned to love her out of loyalty. So it was my belief system that was in place at first before the whole, because a lot of people want to say this whole compatibility and you hear all of it.
Right.
We got to be compatible and we have to be alike and this and that. But the truth is why would you want somebody like you?
Right.
So are you
Who
saying,
really wants somebody like them to be married to?
Are you saying your other relationships didn't work because you were disloyal?
No, my other relationships didn't work is because I wasn't ready for them to work.
Okay.
And the status of my loyalty hadn't
Hold on,
gotten
G.
to.
Hold on.
Come on now.
Back that train up now. You said the relationship that you have now, not for argument's sake, but for clarity for the old man.
Right.
The relationship that you have now works because of your loyalty.
No, it was a distinct. What I want to say, it was a percentage involved in my belief. You see what I'm saying?
Your belief in
because
what?
like
I think the man saying, how you grew up. When you grow up, you get groomed. Because I grew up, I got groomed a certain kind of way, and part of my grooming was you just supposed to have your a nice piece on it. You're supposed to have that. It wasn't it wasn't no if she was this or if she was that. It was like, dude, you supposed to have something slick on your side, man. Period. That's
Rob,
just it.
Hey, Rob, listen, this room is filled with scholars.
And then again, this is something else that comes into play. What my uncle taught me, like he said, look, you as a man, he said, we have a tendency as a man to go for what we like, for what we want.
No doubt.
This was a literal example. My auntie Bessie, she in the kitchen in there. He said, you see that girl in there? He said, yeah. He said some other stuff. He said, she ain't going nowhere. I said, talk to me. What you talking about? He say, you got a tendency to go for what you want. He said, wrong move, nephew. He said, go for the one that want you.
Hey,
now this is a level.
Hey, that's the key. That's my motto. I'm going I always went for the one that wanted me more
than you wanted her.
Say no more.
Why?
This show just got a little bit.
I'm just
no. The reason why?
That's a new piece, y'all.
Because I know if
that's
I got a gym,
now,
I'm gonna tell you this is a gym. This is a gym. And the reason why is
don't
because
y'all have to want each other.
Me being raised from good morals and values, right? Loyalty being one of them. Knowing that if I run into the right chick and I know she really want me, I'm not gonna abuse the fact that I know she want me. I'm gonna love her like she love me.
But you talking about loyalty? Have you ever cheated?
No.
Ever?
Nope. When I was single.
You said when I cheat. You said when I cheat. Now, clean it up. Clean it up.
I stand.
Don't tell me you were single and cheated because you.
When I was single, I was single.
That's
Every
it.
time I've been married, I lost my first wife because she cheated on me.
I would keep it 100 then, my man.
I can go into some stories.
See, you know,
like this is my second marriage, and I've not been out. It's been 13 years. Everything's solid.
Well, you know, one thing I know how to, all I know how to do is keep it 100.
Yeah, you know, Dre. Dre. Now I met Mr. Ellis in my first marriage when I was on the road, theater, all hot shot, young, on the stage doing my thing, and she out doing her thing. Right. But things don't work out sometimes, and I don't blame her. I don't fault her because she come up on a different set of beliefs. See what I'm saying? This all go back, and I don't care what nobody say. What's in you gonna eventually come out. Who you are, what lies at the core of your being is going to come out. And I always say this, that if you can find the capacity to look deep inside of you and see the truth of who you are, if you don't like it, change it, because I guarantee you it's going to show you up for who you are. It's going to show you up for who you are.
You have to change it though. He said it, you know, when you find it, because I don't know, I bet you everybody in here and found something, you know, whatever it may be, but you got to change it. All right, y'all, Mr. Poland joined us, and he got some great news coming up. He got an event that's about to happen where he's going to be doing this thing, giving out a few awards.
You fine, put your headphones
I can't. I'm uncomfortable with that. I can hear. I see. I know how to perform without in-ears on. I think I'm pretty good.
You gonna follow the rules. That's the
I'm
problem.
pretty good.
We're going to have to reprimand him. He don't follow the rules, right?
I didn't know it was a rule.
Sorry, Teddy Riley.
I think Poe over there looking good. He over there looking good, though. He a fly guy, though. I can tell he fly. He got flavor. That's what happens sometimes.
It's kind of tight, but it's all right.
You know, flavor do that.
I'm the one that take my in-ears off on stage. Everybody else had theirs in. I can do it, you know, the old school way.
Oh, okay.
Well, what's up, y'all?
All right, Mr. Pope, why don't you come on in, man, and just jump in. Tell us about what's coming, what you're going to be bringing to the table, man. I know you're going to do your thing. Tell the folks how you're going to do your thing.
This Saturday, we just going to have a ball, man. It's a Christmas party.
Uh-oh.
It's a Christmas party.
All right.
Come on out and party.
Who going to be singing?
I'm singing.
Can we have a dose of just a dose of?
Christmas time is here. Christmas time is here. Christmas time, Christmas time, Christmas time is here. There you go, baby.
Yeah, say no more. I want to give somebody a gift now, man.
No, but we gonna have a party, man. We gonna do our thing, man. I got my man Audie Moore, my cousin Mel, Sandra B, and
okay.
I'm thinking I'm just gonna host the thing, and then probably just do a number or two. But we're awarding some people from the community that's been doing some outstanding things as it pertains to prison reform and things of that nature, restorative justice. And, yeah, I'm just glad to be a part of it. I'm pardoned, and I've assisted a bunch of people in getting pardons. I'm proud of that, and I'm just paying it forward. So this Saturday is a Christmas party award show. My bishop will be here.
Okay.
So I was proud of that. Jerry North.
Okay.
Chaplain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chapel, a lot of the prisons, he'll be here.
Yeah.
Lena Taylor will be here. Well, a representative of hers because she just lost her mom. But so keep her in your prayers.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I'm just paying it forward, man. This is basically presented by my organization, Beating the Odds, Saving a Life.
Well, I got to say that, you're doing some things.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you know, and it's a pleasure to have you, a part of the 100 Gems.
Yes, sir.
Home of the champs.
I'm glad to be a part.
That's all we got in here, man, and be running through here. And what I'm learning is that we learning on how to deal with one another. You know you a champ. That ain't got nothing to do with me being, a champ. However, if we kick it, I'm gonna be a better champ.
Yeah, definitely.
Iron sharpen iron. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, we make each other better.
How did you choose? because I saw the list, and I mean, you got some, you know, shout out to Josh Johnson. That's my big brother since middle school, and man, you got my boy Jock, my Madison, my Madhouse. So how did you choose the individuals that you chose? Because are they being honored for prison reform, or are they being honored just for making sure they got their pardon, or a little bit of both?
They're being honored for following through and believing in themselves that they deserve a second chance. You know, the pardon is a reward of that. A lot of them have gotten their pardons based on being based with community events and things that they're doing. And the governor, you know, that was the governor's word that gave them the pardon. I'm just congrating them for believing and following through.
What about Dole? You got Dole involved in that?
Dole was he is mentioned, and you know, Dole has been an important source out here.
Absolutely.
You know, you can't overlook Dole. I call Dole post personally, so Dole he's informed the whole way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Just want to make sure, that brother come out and he hosts pardon events. And we have collaborated with him on a couple of them. So I just want to make sure, you know, we talking about individuals. I
awarded Dole. See, the only thing about that is I awarded Dole like 2 years ago.
Okay.
You know, so, but it's
Give a
ain't
shout
nothing
out
wrong.
to the brother.
Definitely. I gave him a personal call because he deserved it.
Yeah.
Dole, and it's a few other people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Who was the most influential person that pushed you or you know encouraged you to go in this direction?
So I'm from originally from a church, a little church called Philadelphia Church of God in Christ. That was a church on 3rd Street. It was pastored by Carsey Beeson originally. And in 79, John Barton, who is now the bishop, John A. Barton,
love him,
is now the current pastor of that church. So all throughout my life, as a kid, from 79, I witnessed them going in and out of the prisons, bringing men like Jerry North, Ray Cole, Robert Words. These men were prevalent in the church and in the community, and their words were backed by experience. So they weren't just up there. And these guys had a real passion for prison ministry. And I watched this from afar as a kid. So it was instilled in me. And then when I got in trouble, you know, I caught me a few felonies, young, ended up in prison. And so my trip to prison, I was met with the likes of, you know, Chaplain Jerry North, and reminded who he was to me when I was a kid. And he and my father were friends, and that's how he met Philadelphia. That's how he was introduced to Philadelphia. So it's just something that was instilled in me young. You know, I knew when I was in prison, I didn't want to be there in the gangs. I didn't want to be involved with anything other than making a difference or shining a light. So that kind of followed me, and then I, you know, did my music, and which is why I keep my music clean. You know, I sing about love. People are like, you sing about love so much, but I've done so much wrong. It's about cleaning it up, you know, paying it forward. So that's where we are.
Hey, man, that's it, man. Rob, listen, man, we definitely thank you for coming on out, and those that can support the event that's coming up on Saturday, let's make sure we do that. And, I think we should keep that topic going that we just was talking about. We had a great event today. Rodney, I don't think you ever talked about why did you get married. You want to hit one of them topics of
Who told you I'm married?
Well, why did you get divorced if that's the case? Then,
So
Rod,
I'm divorced.
Okay, well, hey, we're going to go somewhere today. Listen, we ain't going to let it. Listen,
Get out of here.
look, why did you get married? Why did you get divorced? Look, come on now, look.
Rodney, I'm out of here.
Or why would you get married? Who would you look for? I mean, that's a great subject, right?
I think a grown man should be married. I do. I think that and that's just my belief.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you need a woman like you need pants, man. That's just my belief.
That's right.
And so,
I got you.
And just dating a woman for me at this stage is kind of childish. That's how I look at it. I just believe, like, okay, we done figured it out. We done dated X, Y, and Z. You gonna do that again? I mean, and then some things are just for a reason or a season or a lifetime, but still, the commitment is important. That's my view on it.
No, I agree. My brother?
My brother, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. I want you to chime in because I know you got a lot to talk about on this subject. Which angle you want to give us today?
Well, you know what's interesting. I can only look at it from my perspective in my life. My parents were probably the most ideal parents you could have, and I always say it was both a blessing and curse for me, because I've always looked for someone just like my mother, and I've always had that uncompromising idea about what a relationship should be. And in a lot of ways, it hasn't done me justice because I was not patient enough with other people to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I never put anything on anybody else that I wouldn't expect them to put on me. But sometimes you have two ships passing in the night, as they say. You may be at the same, you may desire the same things, but you may be at two different places in life. You know, as a young man, I remember that I said I would never be married before I was 30. If God had given me the opportunity to create a perfect woman, a perfect situation, I would not have been ready because I was not finished being me. It had nothing to do with how much you love somebody or how much you don't love them. But sometimes you're in a place that somebody else is not. And you may love each other, but you still have things that you need to do for yourself to get out. Like, for instance, I used to go to Atlanta and just travel, period, so much that people never knew where I lived. I had people thinking I lived in Atlanta, Minneapolis, Chicago, LA, because I was gone that much. I would literally leave a job, get in the car, drive, and come back 2 hours before I had to go to work 2 days later, that kind of thing. And so my mother used to always complain. She said, Harry, you should let somebody know what's going on. I'm like, Mom, if something happened, there'll be a smoke signal go up, let you know what's happening with me. Harrison, that's not funny. That's not funny. Because I would get up and decide I wanted to go to Atlanta at 12 o'clock at night, get in the car, and just go. Right. And I didn't feel I had to tell anybody. I said, I'm a grown man. I make my own money. I do my own thing. I didn't feel beholding. It wasn't because I was going chasing somebody else or chasing some other relationship or something like that. It was just things that I needed to get out of my system.
Right.
And I think too many times people want people to be in their place at the time that they're there, and sometimes it just doesn't happen like that.
Yeah, and I heard you say something about that you were looking for a relationship and a woman that was not similar to your mom, but had those characteristics. Is that right?
Absolutely. You know, both of my parents were two saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost type people. So that's why.
So was it a sanctified woman you was looking for? I mean, I'm just asking.
No, because I wasn't a sanctified man.
Oh, okay, just check.
I can't
so
even lie.
what were those traits? Kind of tell me.
Nobody is sanctified.
I was asking. Hey, he went right there.
But this is the thing. The thing that was funny is when I look back on it, when I said it was both a blessing and a curse, because I couldn't have had better parents. I never heard my mother and father even argue, never once in the entire time they were there. Never strayed. My mother and father poured everything into me and my siblings. They went to church. That was the only thing they did. They went to church on Sunday, maybe on Wednesday. My father worked at A.O. Smith. My mother was a house keeper. And that's all we knew. We were like the Huxtables. Even back then, it didn't know it.
And so you are married now?
No.
Oh, you're not married now. Got you. Have you ever been married?
No.
So, you ain't never been married.
You gotta own it. You gotta own your title, man.
Woman, like,
all that sanctified stuff. Them lessons did not help this man.
They still up there somewhere. The message is still there. It's beating me in the back of the head every time I'm out here doing something that I shouldn't be doing. But when I say it was both the blessing and the curse, because that's the battle I fight all the time.
I got you.
Because you can't desire things realistically that you're not, and until you get to a place that you're ready to be everything you want, sometimes you need to back up.
I got you.
So I've had to do a lot of backing up.
Tasha, tell me I see you looking at Mr. Harry, so I need to know, because Tasha, what you thinking about?
I grew up in church, and that was the last thing I wanted. My grandma was on the motherboard since I was about 6 weeks.
What's the last thing you wanted?
I mean that too. I didn't want to do none of that. I didn't want to. I mean, people. I know who was that talking and said what's in you. I grew up in a great family. Like, my grandparents were, like, but just because we didn't see them, we found out later on stuff was going on.
Of course.
I thought we was perfect. I thought we was rich. My grandma like, girl, we was on welfare. Yeah. But see, those older, they did a great job of keeping us in our place.
Right.
And like she said, what's wrong with these new kids? She said, y'all talk too much. Y'all talk to these kids too much. Then y'all business too much.
Yeah.
Grown folks talking, kids sitting there with their mouth open like they got something to say. Yeah. We knew when the grown folks start talking, we had to look.
Yeah, you had to leave the room.
And you get up out of there.
Yeah.
So I was maybe about, I thought my grandfather is perfect. I come home and we got food cooked. We got this big old house. Everybody live here. And this is in it. And I was like, damn, I didn't know our house. Granddaddy was cheating and grandma had left. They told her she was in the hospital. She had moved to Memphis. So we cried every day thinking she died. I'm like, she's still in the hospital.
You ain't had internet to see her on Facebook.
Right. She had moved, had a whole apartment and everything.
Oh, wow.
So at that point, I felt like, man, it's some bull. My grandma was a good wife, and I'm like, my grandfather was a good provider, but you was raggedy. And
what made him raggedy?
I'm saying as far as like doing all that extra stuff, and so I was like, I ain't doing all that. She's like, you need to lie. I'm not cooking for nobody. I ain't doing none of that. You mess with me, I'm gonna call your friend. I mean, I just started developing my own mindset where I'm not gonna allow you. I'm not gonna do all this great stuff. I don't want to get married. I'm straight. And then here it go. I get to the point where he found me. He was my total opposite. And I kept like, yeah, I'm straight. I don't want to do this.
Y'all dated before, then got back together or something?
My cousin is, my husband is his cousin.
Right.
I'm married to Rodney's cousin.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, you married Rodney's cousin, huh?
Yeah.
This is my cousin over there.
So I got a question though, right, Tasha, and since you married, and you know, anybody can chime in, you know, marriages have problems. Right?
Of course.
All relationships have problems. So my question is, you know, how do you solve a problem when you marry? If it's a problem in a relationship, is it a system and a way to solve it? Kind of answer that for me. Like, you know, had a problem in the marriage. How do you work towards solving that?
I'm the problem.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Hey, that's good to know.
But you know,
Yeah. But sometimes when you go ahead.
No, it's a problem when you deal with problems across the board, whether it's married or otherwise. It matters about who's listening to who. Mm-hmm. That's what problem solving is: listening to another person and understanding what a situation. Because we're so busy listening to ourselves, sometimes we don't even hear what somebody else is telling us.
And that's what Tasha's saying. And she says she the problem. She know off the top.
But what I do appreciate is because I come from I pop off. You know, so listen, my baby daddy family in the audience over there, they know they done broke up plenty fights. Right. You know, so it was. I come from that era of trying to, but my husband is so calm. We don't argue. We don't yell at each other. There's no he don't talk loud. We don't. So if I have to constantly check myself because I'm so accustomed to just being like, dang, don't like. And I'm like, he's like, don't talk to me like that. And I'm like, okay, I got to get myself together. So I guess the compromise is the understanding that we have. So if there's an issue, you know, we come to the table. We come to the table and we talk about it. And no, it's not, we haven't had nothing major, but the issues that we do have or how I feel, we can sit down and talk about it. And then either you right, I'm wrong, or vice versa, or we agree to disagree, but we're going to keep on moving. Gotcha. And so that's the philosophy that we adopted. And, you know, and I know one podcast, we were talking about, you know, blended families. And a lot of our issues, you know, come from that. Right. You know, well, not really, I don't even call it an issue. You know, it's just, we had some minor things because, you know, of that situation. So you blend in these families, you know, your kids are accustomed to just having just you. You know, my kids are accustomed to just having just me. You know, and so now it's like you blend in these families to say, you know, this is what it is, and the grown ones worse than the little ones.
Got you.
You know, true. So yeah, so I just think that you gotta have an understanding. And now I get why my grandma was so calm. I get why, you know, because I used to be like, man, why you let them do that? You ain't do nothing. You know, so when I get in my 20s, when I found out all of the things, because I'm nosy, you know, and all along, I said, so you really wasn't in the hospital? You had us thinking you was dying? You was gone? Right. You know, so, but it was her form of being submissive. And that's the problem that's the thing that I'm learning.
Got you. Okay, listen, this was a great podcast today. We're gonna get a few people in the audience to come up and say something, but before Tasha, Mr. Harry, and Rod. First, Tasha, I want you to just look in the camera and let's give the people 30-second piece of advice on. It don't have to be marriage, just life. If you had to give a person some advice, what would that advice be? I want all three of y'all to do that for us so we can, shoot that to the people. And then we're going to have a few other people come up and talk about, relationships and things like that. So, Tasha, what kind of advice would you give to people?
Learn how to shut up. Mm-hmm. Learn that silence is golden.
Hey, that's a good one.
Learn that you don't always have to have the last word.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time that last word be the worst thing that you could have ever done. And no matter how many times you can apologize, words, you can never take words back. So you have to be mindful of what people, I was just mad. I'm always remember what you say to me.
Right.
I don't care. I might forgive you, but I never forget, and I'm going to handle you totally different.
Right.
So you got to watch what you say.
That's right. I like that, Tasha. Learn to listen.
Yep, and
shut up. That's right.
Heard that
Mr. Harry, come on, Mr. Harry, talk to me.
Well, my word both to myself and to anyone, first of all, is look into the mirror and be honest with yourself and work on self first. At the end of the day, we complain about all kinds of things outside the window, but the biggest obstacle to anything we do is staring at us every day.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Harry.
Absolutely.
Come on, Mr. Poe, talk to me, man.
I think the best thing that's helped me, because I am surprised I'm married this long, and it's a test because sometimes I pick a little bit, and any man, if you can admit to that. But what my wife does is she doesn't engage, so it'd be like a dud firecracker or something, and then I have to apologize. You know what I'm saying? So she's found a way to put the mirror in my face quick. She don't even have to say nothing. It's just her disengagement kind of makes me feel like, oh, I ain't got nobody to fight with. Oh, dang. Because that's all we want is a little tussle, a little attention.
Right.
And when she don't give me that attention, it's, oh, babe, I'm sorry. So I've learned to use that too. If she's questioning me about something and I see she's emotional about it, I'm not going to charge at her. If she think that somebody's in my inbox or somebody's doing something, I'm going to make sure that she's comfortable. And I'm not going to, girl, get up out of here and charge it up more.
Right.
Or meet her with some type of emotional response. I'm going to help her in a different way. So that's what I learned is that, sometimes we can listen better and our approach can be much more different.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I appreciate y'all, everybody, talking about whatever we've been talking about today. Let's get a few more people in. Let's change seats, y'all.
Let me ask you this, Darvin.
Okay.
Let me see, because the one thing about families and the relationships is, and I've always been vocal about, the mamas and the sisters and everybody and I go in history, and I'm not just saying this because they here, but I got a couple baby daddies. I don't like none of their mamas except one. I don't like none of their sisters. I don't like none of their kids. But I always respected Miss Edwards because I've never met a family that was like them. Everything was a meeting. They never, you can't say nothing about nobody. She call you to the meeting and you're going to talk about it. And they were so supportive. Come on, Bina. Come on, Miss Edwards. They were so supportive with my daughter.
Right.
Even when her dad didn't have it, they would pretend like they just doing it. But Bina called me, what size Moody? Well, all right then, bye. Because they were such a great family unit.
Right.
And they always loved her. I've never had a family like that. So I think when we talk about relationships, we talk about the mamas and the sisters that's getting in it. Mm-hmm. Or the ones, that like I just got a lot of love and respect for them for how they've always been in my child's life, how they got in our business but didn't get in our business.
Right.
That was just they never treated me different whether me and him was together or not.
Yeah.
We could just had a whole throwdown and they'll still be like both of you. She was like, y'all going to jail, or something
Right.
So I think we should maybe get somebody to talk about, the dynamics of the extended families in relationships.
Right. I got you. Dave, you want to chime in on that? Did you hear what she said there, Dave?
Chime in on it because I'm married and I have 3. I don't call them stepchildren. I call them my children. Because I live by that code of when you start putting the stepchildren in there, you treat them just like a step. You're going to step over them to get to your child. You're going to always step over them to make sure your child and your benefits is made. So when you treat them like as one once you're married, there are always going to be complications. There's going to be certain things because they're going to feel like, hey, you ain't my dad, you ain't my mom, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the main key I tell people when you enter into a marriage, where you have extended family, you keep God the center of it first. Once you begin to talk to God and allow God to deal with it and say, well, God, you show me, first of all, me. And that's the greatest thing, is showing you first and what you can and can't handle. Because I had a conversation with my wife's son one day, and I just, because, we know street, we know this. So we it was a conversation that was deep. Some things they're going to listen to you about, some things they're not. But the main thing is if you keep God in the center of it, because one thing you're not going to be on, you're not their father, you're not their mother. And only their mother and father can give them the tools that they need, but God will give you tools to help them what they need. So that's the only thing. And you're going to love them through it. As long as you learn how to love them through it, and sometimes I learned to be patient and be quiet. Just sit and listen. And then when I talk to her, I'll be like, hey, your child doing this, or hey, this, that, and that. And and when she don't know what to say, I give her the wisdom. Hey, say this. Say this like this. And because they'll receive it from you better because you're their parent. So you have to always think on that level, like, hey, and thank God you had that, where the family still loved you and didn't get involved. Some of mine, it didn't happen like that. Some of my sisters didn't, if something happened, my sister them rough, Yeah. But I thank God I had a mama that still love her, that inspired. Listen, my family, I cannot make this up. They be on her side more than mine. Yeah. They be on Margaret's side more than mine, Doc. I don't care what I do. They love on her. And I asked my mother, I said, Mama, I'm your child. And I said, what you doing? She said, you want to know why I'm doing that? She said, one, because you're going to go back home to her no matter what's going to happen. Yeah. And I'm going to show you how a woman is supposed to act no matter what, and really a mother, because I'm loving you enough to help you save your marriage. I said, but you on her side. She said, no, but I'm teaching you how to save your marriage. Because that's what part of being a man is. We're going to make mistakes as men, as women, we make mistakes. And that's why I started something called integrity, until a man to have integrity. The heart of the mind. The heart of the mind is so important. The heart of the mind controls everything in the body, because that's why even the Bible said, well, so if a man thinketh, so if he. So wherever you at, that's what's going to happen. Whatever you think, or how you deal with, how you operate, how you cope, that's what happens. So the heart of the mind controls whatever trauma is in your life. It controls what happened to you. And so you have to look at it from that point of view, that, hey, you want to know something? I love myself to love these children, to love them just like they mine. And so you ain't going to leave them hungry, are you? If you mad at them.
Tasha going to leave them hungry.
Tasha going to leave them hungry, big baby.
Hey,
Tasha going to leave them hungry, big baby.
Tasha going to leave them hungry, man.
Hey, y'all cutting up? Y'all cutting up? But
and I think a lot of that, come from the upbringing. What we've been through and what we learned. But I think that was a great message that you gave, Dave. To let the other half handle that side of it. If it's their child, you can talk to them and say, hey, and if they don't know how to handle it, you can kind of help work through that handling. No, that's a great point. So marriage is not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing at all. And so another question is this, like, Dave, you married right now. So why did you get married?
I didn't get married just because I loved her. I didn't get married just because, she got a big old booty. I didn't marry,
Oh, so she do got a big booty.
Baby. She's strapped, big baby.
Oh, well, so we know
when
that.
I met her, baby. I met her going to church. She walked past. I said, woo, Jesus. I said, you married?
So
she was like, no.
That was an introduction.
Listen,
man.
Hey, she said, no, yeah, I'm married. Had her head down. She didn't look me in the face. She looked up at me, big baby. I smiled. She said, oh, no, I ain't married. I said, I know. I like me too.
Right.
I like me too.
Yeah.
But the more the story is, I knew already when I seen her, I knew already what I was looking for. I knew already what I was dealing with in my own personal life. I didn't say when I got married that things was peaches and cream. Because when I met her, I told her the truth about me. I was used to telling women, hey, I'm whorish. When I met her, I said, hey, baby, I'm whorish.
Because I went to high school with you. I know how you
we
get down.
childhood friends.
I
So
know
he
how you
I
get
don't lie.
down, Dave.
That one over there too. She a childhood friend too.
Yeah.
And y'all know I'm not lying. That's
Yeah.
how I was.
Yeah.
But it was something about her. It was just something about her that I realized that that I just I want her to remain in my life, and not just I wanted her, I needed her. Because this is what I believe. I was married before and I ruined it. You know, I had all my kids on. I'm running the streets, just sleeping around. And I told her, I said, go be happy. If you run into her, I said her name, she'll tell you. I told her, go be happy. Yeah. You didn't sign up for this. Go be happy. That's not fair. You still young. So a lot of them is like, ask her all the time, how did you get him to settle down? How did you get this? And I told her, first of all, God. And then I didn't get him to settle down. He decided to change. It was something in me, and I almost lost her. I mean, if you would have asked me this, let me see, what was it, Darvin, in February? What was it? In February? I'd have been probably, listen, it's having a different topic. Y'all have been on the topic of how you lose your wife by being stupid. I lost her. But I got married too for the stability of a lot of mental self-control. A lot of people don't understand what that means. What that mean is a woman will help you see something you don't see in yourself first. A woman because what happened was the woman was the first gift God gave man. And he would not only that, he gave him responsibilities around the garden, but the woman was the greatest gift that he took out of you. So that's why a lot of times when that woman intuition, it's because she know you because she's a part of you. She know you because God brought her from you. She know you because she's a part of your flesh. When your patterns change, when you lying, when you telling the truth. And then not only that, she see the potential in you when you don't see it yourself. So I needed somebody, first of all, that was strong enough to walk with me. Not behind me, not in front of me, but on the side of me. Somebody that was strong enough to deal with my mess.
So let me ask you this, Dave. What changed? So you got married. And congratulations, my brother, for that. So did anything in you change when you got married? Like, what changes happened in Dave from, marrying this wife of yours?
The first thing that began to change was my structure and order on how I do things. And it started my responsibility to my household and my wife changed, because where I was just willy-nilly, I could do what I want because I was single. Or if I had a lot of women, I'd be like, hey, get in the crowd, be down and move around.
If you had a lot of women?
I said when I had a lot of women.
Oh.
I ain't gonna stop it, Darvin. But I didn't lie to him. And I didn't lie to him. I just told the truth. I was like, hey, get in the pack. But when I met her.
Get in the pack.
Get in the pack, big baby. And
I want to talk about this, Dave. No, this okay, get in the pack. What that mean, Dave?
It just mean it's be down and move around. Get with it and get away from it. It's for you to get with it because I'm who I am.
Yeah. So did that work though?
It worked all the time.
No. Well, he's saying it like it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it was a lifestyle.
Yeah,
it was the way I thought is how I lived and how I rotate. I wasn't no pimp. I wasn't no player. I just loved living life, right. and I knew I wasn't ready. I was broken.
Yeah.
It was some things in me that wasn't mature enough to handle responsibility again, because the first marriage I got into, I was broken.
Right.
I was messed up, so I ruined it. I destroyed it. That's just like if you give a child something too soon, you give him a toy or something that's valuable that is breakable. It's a child. He's 5 years old. You telling him this
I want to go back
priceless.
to the pack.
And so the pack consists of whatever satisfies my gratified need. Knock it off, Darvin.
No, what I'm saying is, so in this pack, was it 2 women at one time, 3, 4, like?
Listen,
and I know you married now, but I like this subject.
One thing I got is a great relationship with my wife. She's here, she in there.
Okay, let's talk about this
and
pack.
And she'll tell you. And so one thing, the pack, just like a matter of fact, I was living the song before the dude wrote the song. One monkey don't stop the show.
Yeah.
Because I believe all of them played the character. Whatever one had the money, that's who supplied my financial need. Which one had the best sexual life, that's who supplied my sex. Who one that looked the best, I took her out in public. Whichever one just had a great conversation. So
how many women at one time did you have,
Jesus,
Dave?
Man,
at your top, the top of this pack.
I don't know. I couldn't even tell you.
More than 3?
Yeah, it was more than 3.
Really?
3. Yeah.
And they all knew that's what Dave was doing.
Yeah, they knew. When they met my wife, they was like, "Girl, let me tell you about him." She said, "He told me." When he first met me, he told me he was out there bad. And so,
and that was good. And so you was honest with your wife, because I know a lot of people that probably lived that life wouldn't be as honest as you was, because you told me that story a few times that she know.
Yeah,
You
I didn't take
know?
her option away. And that's the thing when we fail. When you take a person option away, you mess. That's how you mess up everything. Because then now you trying to recover the lie. You trying to make so whatever trust issues you have in the beginning, you don't mess it up. You broke the trust because why? Well, how I know you ain't doing that no more.
So you clean now, huh, Dave?
Yeah, man.
Clean as a board of health, huh,
Hey,
Dave?
man.
Yeah.
Shoot,
Because the brother earlier, y'all heard what the brother said earlier. The brother said, where you come from?
Rob, no, tell him Rob. Shoot. Well, y'all know, see, they like, but they know, and I'm very honest about it. Because if it wasn't for Darvin, if it wasn't for Rob, I promise y'all I would have lost my marriage. If it wasn't for God first, but good friends, somebody to say, hey, you wrong. Hey, man, you stupid, man. I can't believe you did that. Are you stupid?
Yeah.
And so that's that helped. But I could have made a decision to say, hey, I'm good. I'm going to go back to living my life. But I realized half of me was missing.
Mm-hmm.
When I realized I was going to lose the other better half of me, I was losing everything and went against everything God have established. And so when I got serious to just when I got help. And I tell everybody, and even I told my son, I said, I want you to go to therapy. Everybody, I don't care if you're a woman, man, sometimes you have to do a mental check.
Yeah.
Do a mental check.
I want to talk to Tasha about this pack.
Go on, Tasha.
Tasha. So Dave said he had a pack of them at one time. Would you have, and I know you just got through telling me that, you be the problem. So ain't no way you could have ever been part of a pack. Is that right, Tasha? Or like if a person is let's say honest with you up front. Like what is that? What is that? Like, cause some women will allow, cause they allow Dave. Like, what the heck is that, Tasha? I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to get it from a woman's perspective.
Oh yeah, that's
because
good.
Dave was he just said it. He was a whore. That's what he just said.
Yeah. Well,
and he didn't play.
Tasha been when I used to be like, she said, I wouldn't talk to you.
Yeah.
She said, did you tell that woman you was a whore and all you wanted? I was like, yeah. And she gave you her number. I was like, yeah, Tasha. She was like,
Right.
She was like, I wouldn't.
Tasha, what is that? Is it low self-esteem from the woman? Is it that Dave just so fine? Or is it like what is that a woman will even allow a man that say, hey.
Come on, mama. She said, I'm getting in on this. Come on, mama.
Oh, that's all.
Mama said, I got to get in on this. I can't take this.
Come on, Miss Edwards. Come on, Miss Edwards. Oh,
I'm getting in on this. See, and that's what we need, wisdom. We need some wisdom that be here.
Miss Edwards.
We need some wisdom.
This my baby daddy mama, y'all. See, come on, mama. By the bell. Let Miss Edwards answer.
I love him. I don't even know him, but he's telling you guys the truth. So what he's saying is that with a woman, if you're honest, you straight up, no matter what your life is like, she's going to respect you. And she has a choice to say, I'm going to be with him or I don't want to deal with him.
Right.
But because of his honesty, they feel they can trust him. With sometimes with the thought of that, eventually he's going to change. He's going to be a good man.
Right.
Because he's straight up. I ain't got to worry about
because that trust. That's a foundational principle. Listen here, Miss Edwards. Girl, you came in here. Miss Edwards, don't come over here going to the foundation on it. That trust. That's what it is, ain't it?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Take it from an old schooler.
We taking it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Miss Edwards, you were married.
Never.
You ain't never been married?
Never.
Okay, so now I got a question for you then.
Ask a big baby.
Why have you never been married?
The reason why I have never been married, well, I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm finished with the good thing. I never had a great relationship before. As coming up as a young lady, I was abused. And see, when you have a good woman, I'm gonna tell y'all something. You can't mess up on her, and she ain't gonna know.
That's true.
Because she's faithful.
That's true.
She's going to know.
Yes, she will.
Because we have those instincts
Right.
that they're messing around. And then when a woman come to a man for honesty, are you messing around? No, I don't know. Why would I do that on you? Tell me the truth.
Right.
Because if you are, it's up to me to.
You got Rob back there chewing that gum so fast. I see him in the back. Hey, Miss Edwards, you talking, Miss Edwards? I ain't never seen him chew that gum so fast.
Rob like, hey, I got something to say.
I'm listening, Miss Edwards.
So yeah, when that person is being honest with you, you say, okay. Maybe you're probably gonna stay with them. But when they lie, and you say, "Look, tell me the truth," because if I want to stay with you, it's my choice, and if I don't want to, it's gonna be hell with you.
Man, that's so cold, Miss Edwards.
Yeah.
Listen, those that's listening today, honesty. What we talked a whole lot of stuff. We laughed. We talked about the pack, but Miss Edwards came in here and broke it down. She said that honesty is a key to not just a marriage, to a relationship. Okay, to a relationship. I think Tasha. Well, now Miss Edwards broke that down.
I thought you saved me.
No. But hey, cause Rob finna come, and
Right.
you know he's
I
not
was
finna
like,
hold no punch.
Come on, Rob. Come on, take it over here from me too, Rob.
Baby daddy grandma saved me every time. Baby daddy, my daughter grandma. But
Rob got some
Miss Edwards, said it right. But you know what? When I was younger, it took me to get to 40 to be like, you know what? Let's do it then, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do you, you do you, and I'm gonna do me, and we'll do us. And if this is, I got a pack too. I got if I want to, if I feel like but at the end of the day, it gets tiring. It's like you got one for this, you got one for that, you got one. Then it gets tiring.
Please, when I was hearing about being honest, I came up where that was the only way to be.
Mm-hmm.
Tell her what you really think. Tell her what's really on your mind. What's going on, especially if she's choosing you. And then I also learned that, man, you can ask a woman just about anything. I'm talking about, baby, would you do this? Would you do that? I'm talking about if you got the guts enough to ask them, they gonna have the guts enough to say, "Oh, okay, I'll try that," or I won't. Like she was saying, either they going or they ain't going. And I learned that from a real young age, where and it has aided me though throughout the years, because I'm also able to cut you off fast. At the same, because if you ain't going, I ain't either. Okay, baby, that's cool though. No hard feelings and all that crazy stuff. But that honesty piece, man, that's always been the real deal. And every relationship, I'm talking about, man, I remember a couple of times I had to be honest in some areas that I'm talking about, and I did it though. Mm-hmm. I said, she talking about where you been. I said, well.
Don't ask unless you want to know the truth.
Blase Skippy. And then it was like, I don't believe you. I said, this is it. You know what I mean? And however, though, like she said, either they going for it, if they ain't, and if they do go for it, what I did, I had to grow into respecting that. I had to grow into that. I had to grow into cherishing that. I did. I because before it was, I figured it was part of the game. Now that's part of the deal. Baby, this was happening. Blase Skippy. But now today, as I matured, it's important. It's important when I know that this woman is gonna go for whatever I'm putting down. I got to make sure I'm putting down the right things. You know what I mean? I got to make sure I'm doing what's what I said. I'm standing on my word. So I feel you, and when you came on and how you broke it down, that's exactly how it go. Tell him how it is. Say, baby, blase, and because you never know. A fella never know if a lady
gonna ride with you. Let's you be honest.
I'm talking about gonna ride with you with what though?
That's it.
I'm talking about and to be honest, I got out there some. Let me see how much they really gonna go for in. And man, I couldn't believe it how it went. But I wasn't ready. I wasn't mature enough to handle her really, accepting it and going for. Because I wasn't going for. I was just trying it out.
Have you heard that saying of honesty is the best policy?
Yes.
And it is so. And if you want to be happy, be honest with your wife or your lady. Don't lie, because you're going to make the situation worse. You're going to get caught. What's done in the dark is going to definitely come to light.
Yes,
and then we also have to remember that the good book said you're going to reap that you sow. So you have to stop and think about, before you start lying, wait a minute, I'm going to get this back. I got to be careful what I say, because it's going to come back on me. But the thing is, it don't just come back on you. It's coming back worse.
Yes, it is.
And you cannot hardly deal with pains.
Right.
We take it. We
can't
hurt.
deal. Hold on, wait a minute, mama. Hold on. We can't deal with pains. Hold on. Because I done had a couple of cold ones say, "Hey, man, I'm gone. We're gone then." And I dealt with that pain pretty good.
You only have pains with something that you love that hurts you,
and that's it right there.
So not anything can hurt, or anyone can hurt you. So you have to remember that. We hurt too. Yeah. We're just stronger than you guys. And not being biased, but y'all know we're a little smaller than you guys are. You guys are running and moving around and doing things while we sit back watching you and thinking.
Yeah.
And if I might say this to help you guys too, women are the best cheaters.
That's true.
And they don't get caught.
That's true.
So
that's what told me.
So why not just be honest? Just be honest.
Hey, brother, you gonna mess around and go viral, girl.
But it's the truth.
Yes,
it's true.
Yes,
it's
yes,
the truth.
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But yeah, but I then piggyback off of that. I always say, and two, on the man's side, a lot of women got to recognize the signs. If you recognize the signs that someone is broken, because one of the worst men, they saying the worst men, one of the worst men is a surviving man. If I'm just surviving because I ain't got no relief, I'm just surviving. Listen, you see a woman with a man, be like, why you study letting him do this? He's surviving. He ain't got nowhere to go. He broken. So wherever he broken at and you accept it, it's different from understanding than just accepting something. So true. It's different from just saying, hey, I understand about being in the car than to letting you just drive me around the city. So you have to, it's a compromising situation. So, and that being said, it's about loving who you are. A lot of people are broken. A lot of people have trauma. So they just gonna accept me, like you said. I think he asked, who asked the question, Darvin? Like, why, Tasha? Why just this woman allowing this man to do this? Why here these women allowing this man to just say this and they still going with it? It's because sometimes borderline is something broken in them. It's something they
or sometimes the man didn't say, hey,
baby, this way.
This how it go. Is you gonna stick with it.
That's it.
And sometimes women are in love with a man that they are willing to go through these things.
That's true.
Let's go to the good book. Love covers a multitude of sin.
Yes.
Our parents taught us that love hides a multitude of faults.
Yep.
Key word, fault. Mm-hmm. So if I love you and what you're doing, okay, I was in an abusive situation. He's dead and gone now. But I love that man. And he was abusive to me. I knew it was wrong, because I wasn't exposed to that coming up. Mm-hmm. But I loved him. So I forgave him until I decided that he doesn't love me. Mm-hmm. So I had to make that choice. And it wasn't easy for me to leave, because when you love a person, you don't leave. You don't walk away. I had to pray to get out that situation.
Come on now. Well, it looked like my brother over here, though. He might have been in a couple of those situations.
Oh, yeah.
He said really, smooth too, right? Oh, yeah.
Really good relationships. Hey, won't you come on, tell us about that, man?
I will say that I've had a few rounds of blocks, if you will. But I will say that like the sister said about honesty is the best policy. And young a woman will stick by with you, you know, during your. If she love you, she gonna stick with you throughout your. Sometimes a brother haven't really kind of got your mind together. You in the world. A lot of us been in prison. We been locked down. We get out, you know, trying to, you know, establish ourselves, trying to find ourselves, and we find a good woman. A woman can really help you, you know, and understand, because she, you know, like Sister said, she's gonna wait. She's aware of what you're doing, how you moving, and stuff like that. So I believe my wife to have shown me a great. Just being patient with me, man, and it's kind of like, you know, being with me when I was going through my traumas, you know, and you know, through the help of her, you know, God and in her, and I felt like she was there for me, man. So, you know, when things turned around for me a little bit, when I started getting my mind right, you know, it was something inside of me, you know what I mean, that made me want to be dedicated. You know what I mean, for what she had kind of been going through with me. So I believe a woman can also help a man, you know, being honest with her, can help him to bring out the best in him. Because I've had, you know, some women who bring out the worst of you too. You know what I mean? So it depends on
them be the ones. Them be the ones. But honestly, you know, I feel like if you get a good woman that's willing to not tear you down, see, that's the thing. You know, I feel like a woman is very influential, you know, over a man, and you know the things that she say. She kind of, the man run the house, but the woman she can influence the man to make certain. Well, you heard what Mama said. They got all the juice. I believe that. I believe that. They got all the power. We really just follow the lead.
Yep,
I will say that.
Death and life is in the power of the tongue. She can either speak death into you that'll destroy everything in you. Because it only take for somebody to sow one seed in you, but it take 90 days for them to get it out of you.
Yeah.
So a woman can say something to encourage you to greatness, and encourage you, because what she sees is the greatness of the leader in you. Because a woman don't follow you playing God. She follow the God in you. She don't follow you playing king. She follow you the leadership of the king. She follow the vision of the man. And if he has a vision and a purpose, she'll hold him down. And she'll encourage him when he want to give up. And then now it's your circle, your core circle. You don't change some of us got to change the core in it. It's your core circle. Who you got around you? Who you talking to? Because we're talking about our guy. And if you ain't got nobody be like, hey man, she tripping. Like, hey man, leave her, man. You know, I gotta. But if you got a real friend, somebody be like, hey, because I always tell Rob, and I tell him this all the time. I always give him his flowers and him what I do. Because I call him. If I call him and say, hey Rob, man, he'll sit and listen first. And he said, hey, man. He'll start laughing first. Hey, man. He said, you sure you want to do that? He said, first of all, you know your wife. He said, you know she'll shoot you. Or do you want to, and then he just said, he said, do you want to lose a good thing? He said, I don't have no problem. One day he told me something. He said, man, like, Dave, I don't have no problem. He said, because I made a decision not to put myself in none of them situations. So I just don't do that. So you got to make a decision. And that's true. We got great women that we have ruined. I always say a lot of men, we ruined great women. I have ruined plenty of great women.
Oh, yeah. You know, I think part of it too, though, is what the man trying to do. That's you know, what you trying to, you know, is your life about having X amount of girls, or, you know, this, that, and the other. I know for me, man, I'm serious. You know, I got a mission. You know, I'm on something, you know, in real life. And I'm not on something just for me, but I'm on something for those that are around me, who God has brought into my life. You know, I want to be a real assistance, a real service to my kids, grandkids, and different things. And that, you know, so I ain't finna play no games. I ain't got time to be playing no games. So I ain't finna be running around cheating on you. I ain't finna be lying. I ain't finna be doing all that. I ain't finna be playing with no phone tag. And, you know, I'm on something, and I think that's important. That helps a woman see, like, okay, I know what this dude know. Now, one thing, as a matter of fact, she just said to me, too. She said, you sure used to be real friendly, though, you know, and which is, it's the truth, because I like communicating, especially with the girl, with women. I'm talking about, man, they fun. You know how I came, baby. But at the same time, because of the relationship that we have, and she was able to learn me more, and I was able to learn her. That's one of the important things that fellas be missing out, man.
Yes.
We have to learn
Yes.
our women, man.
Yeah, my wife told me, she said, you don't know how to handle me.
Yeah.
And you know, one day, man, I was just kind of doing what I do, and I looked at it, I said, yeah, I know how to handle you now. You know, it's just about understanding and kind of, you know, seeing her, what she likes and what she don't like, and kind of paying attention to it. One thing came to my mind was when I was a child, the Bible say, when I was a child, I thought as a child. When I became a man, I put childish things away. So as we grow as men, you know, a lot of things we used to do, we just don't do no more, man. We just can't move in the same circles, especially when we start having children, you know what I mean? And then they start having children, you know, and so we want to be generational type of thinkers when it comes to,
doubt,
you know,
no doubt.
Children and whatnot.
I know that, you know, I'm 55 years old, and I got a 3-year-old. You know, my youngest before I had the 3-year-old was 30-year-old. You know, so this was a big old shock and all kind of things to me. And then I had to deal with the baby too. That's another thing. That's the shock piece. I had to deal with the baby. You know, I back then, you know, I was still moving the group. I'm still moving the group. But now I have to deal with the baby, and I am. I gotta tell you, at times I'm flabbergasted at how much they mean. You know what I mean? How I ain't know that other people could mean that much to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was always running.
About yourself. Always selfish.
Yeah, I was always running, trying to do the thing or what have you. And then here it is. Now you're going to put these folks in my life, and I really got to care about these folks. You know, past just, you know, a couple of dollars. You know, because everybody else was dealt with, here go a couple of dollars, you know, and we cool. You know, but now I got to really sit down and care about these people, you know. And I got a house full of girls, you know, so I really be getting it in. I love you and all them hugs and all that. I mean, like, good Lord, you know. However, it's beautiful. Yeah. It's beautiful, even though I be like, you know, okay, girl, you know.
Hey, look, we got our guy DB in the building.
I see.
And you know, he just told me, man, he about to get married. I think he said June 9th. June 9th.
Oh, he's joining a good conversation,
you know, hey, this
then.
is one of my good friends. He big brother me, man. He made me do my push-ups. He made me, you know, work out. Go, Darvin, go. And hey, man, he told me he's getting married June 9th.
Okay.
You know, he got a brand, you know, get it out the mud.
Yeah.
But DB, come on, man. I want to know, man, why DB getting married?
Well, you know, for one thing, man, you know, nobody wants to grow old by themselves. And when you find a good woman or a woman find a good man, it's for y'all to grow as a unity. You know, I was just listening to you brothers talking about relationships and stuff. But one thing as men, man, it's easy, and as women, it's easy to love everything about a person. Oh, I love her, but what about the things you don't like about her? Those are the things that we have to grow to love about that person. Just like a woman, she got to grow to love your imperfections. Yeah. She got to learn. She got to learn to love the things that she don't like about you. And that's where, you know, when relationship comes,
you got my wife
like
looking at me too, DB.
It's like
you talking, DB. She looking at me like, hey.
But, you know, it's real talk, though. You know, it's easy to love somebody for all the glamorous things, all the good and the bad. But what about the things that you really don't like about them? Can you really grow to love that person imperfections? And that's what we need to understand as black men, as black women, just to love each other. You know, even though, like Dara, my brother, I got to learn to love my brother. You know, I think in the black community, we don't show each other enough love. We don't give each other our role. We don't stand up and fight for one another. You know, if he's going through something, I shouldn't just be on the ship when it's going good. What about when the ship is going bad? I need to stand behind him. And it's easy to quit on the brother when he's doing bad. And it's easy to ride that wave when it's going good. But, you know, in a real relationship, you got to ride the wave. You know, it's like the stock market. Things going to go up, it's going to go down. It's never going to be easy kill. My brand is called Get It Out the Mud. But what the mud stands for is motivation, urge, drive, and determination. Just like with anything in life, all of us in here have something that we've been through. We all got our own mud story. But it's just like anything in life. Once you lose your motivation, urge, drive, and determination, when anything in life is pretty much over. That means raising your kids. We all know deadbeat dads done wash their hands. Mothers that done lost their motivation, urge, drive, and determination to raise their kids. It's like your marriage. Once you get tired of that person, guess what? You're going to lose that mud. You're going to lose your motivation, urge, drive, and determination, and it's going to be focused towards somebody else. So we got to stay the course, and it's easy to quit. You don't have to do nothing to fail. All you got to do is don't do nothing.
I got a question. I got a question for that one. How do you stay the course when you done lost your interest?
Well, you got to stay consistent. I mean, first of all, it's about communication. You'll never lose interest. You only lose interest when you stop communicating with people. You got to communicate. Everything in life is about a communication. It's easy for me to fall out with a person because of disagreement. But what about all the good times we shared? And a lot of us, we fall out about little stuff, but then you got to look at the totality of your relationship. Whether more good and bad in this relationship, are you willing to just throw everything away for something bad when it's just a communication? We can talk about this. Ain't nothing that a communication can't heal. But one thing we do, we lack communication with one another. It's easy for me to just, hey man, I'm just gonna bedridden this person. I'm gonna write this person off because I don't want to communicate with this person because right now I'm in my feelings. But you gotta always think about is your relationship worth throwing away because of a disagreement? We all just want to be heard. We all want everything in life. We want to just be heard. We want to be validated, and we want to be acknowledged about what we say and what we do in life. And sometimes that's all people want to be. Do you hear me? Yeah. See, but in life, you got to listen to hear to understand. If I don't listen to you, I don't really hear you, so I really don't have a clear understanding of what you conveying to me. So you got to listen to hear to understand in life.
Yeah, man, DB, you got my wife shaking her head up. She ain't stopped doing this, man, since you've been talking, man. I know. Like one thing she do is because sometimes her big thing, DB, is she ain't being heard. Like sometimes she'll talk and I'll be like, okay, baby, I'll be thinking I already know what she finna say.
Right. And
so she don't like that because really she just felt like she ain't being heard because I cut her because I'm thinking I already know what she's saying.
But sometimes you just gotta let her talk and process everything she say, and then you come back and recite everything she said so she can understand that you are listening to her. I just got the
coldest game in the world. Hold on. Hey, man, I told this my big brother, man. He went right in.
Another thing that, not to cut you off, brother, another thing in relationships, we think everything is okay, but do you ever ask your mate, your significant other, are you okay? Are you happy? And I think sometimes we think we doing the right thing and we think they happy, but if you don't ask these questions, my fiance, I ask her all the time, are you happy? Because I may think I'm remotely doing everything correct and I'm doing everything right, but I might not be doing it. Right. You got to learn they love language.
Right.
You got to learn they love language. That's the key thing. You got to understand.
DB, was you ever a player, man? I need to know this, man. DB, was you ever a player, man? Look.
I played the field, man. I played the field like Monopoly. I was on Boardwalk. I might be at Park Place. Yeah. I might be at the Ring. Yeah. I might be at the Railroad. I don't know where I might be.
Yeah. But so what made you? No, DB, because I know you was a ladies' man. Man, that's a fact. And so, what made you change from being a ladies' man? No, I ain't saying you still ain't a ladies' man, but maybe now you just a one ladies' man.
Well, sometimes in life, man, life is really about timing. With anything we do in life, any of us, it's about timing. I had God has always been sent good women in my life. I had women that was six figures. I know some that was millionaires, but the timing, it's all about timing, right? It wasn't a season for them. And I knew it for myself. See, first of all, you got to be accountable. You got to be real with yourself or who you are. So, sometimes you got to spare a person. If she's looking for something that I can't give her, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't give you that.
Right.
I want to give you that opportunity. I don't never want to just shell you along and, have you riding along, and that ain't really what I'm looking for.
Right.
And so, it's just about time. And in a man's life, I think it's the perfect season for me. In my 20s, was I ready? No. In my 30s, was I ready? Every year,
Harry ain't never been ready. You see Harry over there? Man, Harry dropping some stuff on it. And see, he said he ain't never.
Check this out. every year you reinvent yourself.
Hey,
You're not the same person that you was a year before.
I want to chime in on because the timing and then being ready. I know that I got a young wife, and she caught me at a great time, because I'm ready I'm talking about from the maturity and the understanding and so on.
Right.
But then
You strike
also,
the nerve there.
hey, listen. But to also go along with that, I also had to learn how to listen to her. And then, by her, because of her age, she spoke a completely different language. But then, and then having that baby and starting a family, I had no other choice but to sit down and say, okay, because for a while, man, I still didn't like people around me. No, baby, you too close. Okay, I need some room. And I didn't know, that I was doing it hard like that. And she like, wait a minute, dude, wait, I want to be close.
Right.
Your baby want to be close. She want to be held and so on.
So you listening. You was listening
I
like
had
DB
to.
said. You got to learn to
You
listen.
got to learn to listen. And then, I'm talking about, man.
And the timing.
Yeah. I'm
So
talking
timing
about,
and listening
Oh, yeah, because she
made you
caught me
change.
at a good time, boy. I'm a good dude today. Because if she'd have caught me.
And your wife caught you at a good time.
Yes,
didn't
she did, man. I found out, man, the communication, man, is really key.
That's what I'm talking about, brother.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, I found, like the brother said, I wasn't listening to my wife. I was running and moving around, doing things, just not really paying attention to her, just taking really her love for granted, to be honest with you.
Right.
And not really, taking time to really know her and everything like that. So I found that we found ourselves doing some quality time. We able to, and that quality time thing, at first I didn't understand that, because I'm like, babe, I'm running my own thing. I'm at home most of the time. You see me all the time.
Right.
What are you talking about?
That ain't good enough.
Yeah, but I found that, that being able to take her out, spend time with her, and right now we even do some things on Sunday where we doing each other's feet now. So I think with that, I mean that's allowed me to kind of like sit back and watch her, look in her eye, rub her feet, and understand what she's saying.
Some quality time.
Quality time, So I think that's really important, because at them times, you can kind of get hear your wife, if you will. Everything else ain't going while she's still talking, if you will. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, no doubt. And then, man, I feel you when you're saying, like, I know what you said. I know what you gonna say. Matter of fact, I done forgot more
I
than
ain't doing that
know.
shit no more. DB said, "Little brother, listen to what she's saying.
Listen to
repeat what she said,
For
so
real.
she know that
telling
you
you.
heard what she said. Listen, y'all got that game from my big brother. Y'all heard what he said. Repeat it exactly.
You gotta listen to hear to understand.
Yeah. Hey, but that's a wonderful thing, though. I think that's as you mature, though. You pick that up.
Right.
You get that. That's like a prize. Because I know as a young man, I ain't had none of that. I'm just keeping it 100.
But
man.
women mature faster than men.
Yeah, no doubt.
They already know
doubt.
what they want. We all over the place.
I used to hate when I heard that too, man.
I mean, but it's real. It's real.
I did, man.
real talk.
Like, hold on.
It's real.
Wait a minute, I'm fly. I thought being fly was it. but I'm serious. They really do mature fast.
Right.
I seen my young wife, man. She, man, it just was picking stuff up just like, I'm like, wow, look at this here. That's what gave me hope, too, that, we were going to be able to make it.
Man,
I seen her catching things, man.
I'm going to tell you, man, true story about my fiance, man. So, when I proposed to her, I think even before I even proposed to her, right? Man, I'm sitting in the bed, we just talking and stuff, man. She broke out this ledger, man, and man, she already had all the people she was invited. I'm talking about, like, we already talked about all this or something. She had everybody's name in there, address, telephone number, email. I'm like, oh, you just knew you was marrying me, so you just knew you was gonna get that family tree.
Following the lead, man.
And I'm still trying to get mine together, man. You know what I'm saying? Hers already saved the date, everybody's name in there. I mean, got this notebook, ledger, everybody. I'm like,
Oh,
wow.
man. Hey,
But that's how you know how women think. They more mature at a certain age, you know. Not saying that men are not mature, but women is naturally. You know, they are.
Because it took me a long time.
You know, like we train. Mothers nurture, we train. They are nurturing people. We train with our kids. You know, they are real emotional, sensitive. They nurture them. No, we train. We training them for the real world. This is what the real world gonna be like. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing with my kids because I'm gonna let your mother do all this nurture. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna show you sympathy. I'm gonna give you empathy and all that. But I'm here to train you because I know what the street holds out there for you. It's a dog world. And if you ain't strong enough, you're gonna get ate up in the world.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So we here to train. I need to hashtag that mothers nurture, fathers train.
Yeah, man. Listen, man, it's been a great podcast.
It's been a great podcast.
I think we should get ready to wrap it up, man. But I think we should let the brothers give us a gem before we go. This is a 100 Gems podcast. We normally try to, I want y'all to look in that camera and give a gem. It could be 30 seconds, 1 minute. Just give a gem to the people, whatever you want. It could be relationships, something you've been through, or just giving them some help, man, and some understanding, man. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. My gem for you, for the people today is believe in yourself, man. Take the moment to invest in yourself. Spend some time with yourself. Get to know yourself. Because if you don't do the things you need to do for yourself, man, you can't do nothing for nobody else, man. You really got to take some time, stop, running, spend some time with yourself and work out, exercise, eat right, all those things, man, make a difference in how you function and move with other people, man. You got to learn how to do that. A lot of us ain't learned that, man. We ain't learned how to eat. We ain't learned how to talk. None of that. So I feel like my gem for today is, man, just believe in yourself and just continue to work on yourself, man. That's what I got.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna do a gym. I know I'm one of the hosts.
Coach.
But I'm gonna do a gym today.
Come on, Coach.
And my gym is gonna be what Miss Edwards said. She said, I'm picking up my gym from today's conversation. She said, honesty is the best policy, right? And communication is gonna be key. That's what I got from my boy DB. So honesty, communication, listen, repeat with your wife or that relationship, even with your brothers and your sisters. Let them know that you heard them. Let them know you heard them. Man, and that right there, man, to take you a long way. DB.
Man, my gem for the day, man, be a better you tomorrow than you was today. Every day you wake up, you got a choice, a chance, and a decision to make. And try to uplift the people that are around, hold people accountable. One thing in society, people don't like to be held accountable. But if you're in my circle, I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm here to motivate you. I'm here to uplift you and give you the necessary knowledge and tools that you need to prosper in life.
Y'all heard it from my boy DB.
All right, y'all. There go another episode of 100 Gems Podcast, home of the champion. You just got some great gems. Continue to tune in, baby, because there's more to come, y'all. Peace.